The neutral trade station floated high above the swirling storms of the gas giant below. Its name was Harmony Point, a place where many species met to talk, trade, and keep peace in the galaxy. Ships from dozens of worlds docked here every day. The long corridors were filled with the sounds of different languages, the smell of strange foods, and the sight of beings walking on 2 legs, 4 legs, or none at all. Laura Carter walked through one of the main halls with her 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Laura was a junior diplomat from Earth. She wore a simple gray uniform with the small human flag on her shoulder. Lily held her mother's hand tightly. The girl had bright blue eyes and short brown hair tied in a ponytail. She wore a light blue dress that looked out of place among the tall aliens in robes and armor. This was Lily's first trip to a real space station. Everything amazed her. The glowing lights on the walls, the big windows showing the colorful planet below, and the aliens who stared back at her with wide or narrow eyes. Laura had brought Lily because the rules allowed families at low-risk meetings. The talks today were about new trade rules for rare metals. Nothing dangerous was expected. "Stay close, sweetheart," Laura said softly. "Don't touch anything without asking." Lily nodded, but her eyes kept moving. She saw a shiny display near the council room entrance. It was a tall stand made of dark metal, holding a carved stone sphere from an old alien culture. The sphere had strange patterns that glowed faintly blue. Lily let go of her mother's hand for just a second and stepped closer. She reached out and touched the smooth surface with one small finger. Officer Crax stood nearby. He was a Vorn, a tall reptilian species with thick green scales, sharp claws, and yellow slit eyes. He wore a black security uniform with silver badges that showed his high rank. Crax was in charge of keeping order on this part of the station. His people valued strict rules and fast punishment for breaking them. To him, the display was sacred and off-limits to all but approved guests. When he saw the human child touch the sphere, anger flashed in his eyes. He moved quickly for such a large being. In one sharp motion, he swung his heavy arm. The back of his scaled hand struck Lily across the face with great force. The sound was loud, a sharp crack that echoed in the hall. Lily's small body flew sideways. She hit the hard floor and lay still. Blood came from her nose and the corner of her mouth. Her eyes were closed, a red mark already spread across her pale cheek. Laura screamed. She ran to her daughter and dropped to her knees. "Lily! Oh God, Lily!" She pulled the girl into her arms. Lily's head lolled back. She was breathing, but weakly. Laura pressed her hand to the child's face, trying to stop the bleeding. Tears filled her eyes as she looked up. Around them, aliens stopped and stared. Some whispered in their own languages. A few stepped back in shock. Others watched with calm faces, as if this was normal. Crax stood over them. His voice was deep and rough, like stones grinding together. The child touched a restricted item. Security protocol allows correction. The action was correct. Laura's face turned white with rage. "You hit my daughter. She's just a little girl. She's hurt." Crax did not move. "Your species is new here. You must learn respect for rules. The young one broke them. I stopped the violation." A human security guard from the Earth delegation pushed through the crowd. He knelt beside Laura. "Ma'am, we need to get her to medical right now." He spoke into his wristcom. "Medical emergency. Human child injured. Council hall entrance. Send help fast." Laura rocked Lily gently. "It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. Help is coming." Lily made a small sound, like a weak cry, but did not open her eyes. More humans arrived, diplomats, traders, and station workers. They formed a circle around Laura and Lily. Their faces were hard with anger. One woman whispered, "They hurt a kid, our kid." Crax looked at the growing group of humans. He crossed his thick arms. "Your anger changes nothing. I have full immunity under council law. Take the child for treatment. The matter is closed. A tall human man in a dark suit stepped forward. He was part of the Earth diplomatic team. This is not close. You assaulted a minor. We demand a full inquiry. Krax showed his sharp teeth in what might have been a smile. Demand what you want. The council will see reason. Your people are emotional. It makes you weak. Laura looked up at him. Her voice shook, but was clear. You don't understand what you just did. You hurt my child. Humans don't forget that. Medical robots and a doctor arrived quickly. They lifted Lily onto a floating stretcher. Laura walked beside it, holding her daughter's small hand. The group moved down the corridor toward the medical bay. Humans followed close behind, their eyes fixed on Krax. Krax watched them go. He spoke to one of his Vorn guards. Inform the council representative. The humans make noise, but it will pass. They always do. But deep in the station, messages were already flying. Human comm channels lit up with urgent alerts. Words spread fast. Alien officer struck human child. Severe injuries. Harmony Point Station. Photos and short videos taken by bystanders moved across Earth networks and colony feeds. People on distant worlds stopped what they were doing to read the news. Anger grew like a fire. In the medical bay, bright white lights shone down. They cleaned the blood from Lily's face and scanned her head. Fractured cheekbone, possible skull crack, internal bleeding in the brain. We need to operate soon, one doctor said. Laura sat beside the bed, holding Lily's hand. The girl's face looked small and pale against the white sheets. Machines beeped softly around her. Laura whispered, "You're going to be okay, Lily, I promise." But inside, something cold and hard grew in her chest. She had always believed in talk and peace. Now, for the first time, she felt something different. It was not just sadness. It was a deep, quiet fury. Outside the medical bay, more humans gathered. They spoke in low voices. "We can't let this stand. The council will do nothing. We take care of our own." Word reached a nearby human warship on patrol. Captain Daniel Hayes listened to the report in silence. His jaw tightened. He turned to his officers. "We may need to move fast." Back on Harmony Point, Krax returned to his post. He felt no fear. In his mind, he had done his duty. The humans would complain, the council would talk, and life would go on. He did not know that across the stars, a line had been crossed. A line that humans never forgave. A line that would bring consequences he could not imagine. The news hit Earth like a shockwave. Within minutes of the attack, short video clips from Harmony Point Station spread across every human network. People saw the tall Vorn officer swing his arm. They saw little Lily fly through the air and crash to the floor. They saw the blood on her face and Laura scream. The images played on screens in homes, offices, schools, and ships across the solar system and beyond. On Earth, in a quiet suburb of Chicago, a father paused while making breakfast for his kids. He stared at his tablet. His hands shook. "They hit a child," he said out loud to no one. His wife came in and looked over his shoulder. She covered her mouth. Soon the whole family was silent, watching the loop. In New York, crowds gathered outside the United Nations building. Signs appeared fast. "Protect our children. Justice for Lily. No more immunity." People chanted. Police stood by, but no one caused trouble. The anger was deep and controlled. On Mars Colony, workers in red dust suits stopped their shifts. In the main dome cafeteria, screens showed the footage. A young engineer slammed his fist on the table. "That's our kid, our people. We don't let this go." Across the stars, human ships received the alert. Frigates on patrol turned their courses. Freighters changed plans. Everyone felt it, the same cold fire in their chests. Humans had rules about many things, but one rule stood above all others. You do not touch our children. Not ever. In the medical bay on Harmony Point, Lily lay under soft lights. Machines hummed around her. Doctors had stopped the bleeding in her brain. They used nanites to repair the cracked bone. Her face was swollen, one eye black and shut. But she breathed steady now. Laura sat in a chair beside the bed. She had not slept. Her hand never left Lily's small fingers. A doctor came in. He spoke quietly. She's stable. The worst is past. She should wake up in a day or two. But she will need time to heal fully. Laura nodded. Thank you. Her voice was flat. Inside, the fury grew stronger with every hour. She thought of Krax's cold yellow eyes. His words, the action was correct. She wanted to scream. Instead, she stayed calm for Lily. Outside the bay, more humans arrived. Diplomats in suits, traders in work clothes, station security who were human. They formed a quiet wall in the corridor. No one spoke much. They just waited. Their presence said everything. Messages flew between human leaders. The president of the United Earth Alliance called an emergency meeting. Ambassadors on Harmony Point sent urgent reports. Everyone agreed this could not be handled with words alone. Far from the station, on a fast patrol cruiser called the Endeavor, Captain Daniel Hayes stood on the bridge. He was tall, with short dark hair and steady brown eyes. At 42, he had seen combat, peace talks, and everything in between. His crew knew him as fair, but hard when it mattered. The comm officer turned. Sir, full report from Harmony Point. The child is stable. But the Vorn officer claims full immunity. Council says they will investigate in 6 months. Daniel's jaw tightened. He looked at the star map on the main screen. 6 months, he repeated. They think we'll wait 6 months while a child lies hurt because of their rules. He turned to his executive officer. Assemble the Reckoners. Small team, stealth gear, fast ship, no flags, no official orders. The executive officer nodded. He knew what this meant. The Reckoners were not an official unit. They were a group of volunteers, Marines, pilots, intelligence experts, who handled jobs when normal channels failed. They protected humans when the galaxy looked the other way. Within the hour, 5 people gathered in the briefing room. There was Sergeant Maria Lopez, a sniper with calm hands. Lieutenant Jake Rivera, expert in close combat. Tech specialist Kevin Brooks, who could hack any system. Medic Rachel Nguyen, who patched wounds under fire. And Daniel himself. He stood at the head of the table. A hollow image of Krax floated in the air. This is Officer Krax, Vorn security chief. He struck an 8-year-old girl named Lily Carter, fractured her skull. The council will do nothing. We will. No one argued. They just listened. Rules of engagement, Daniel said. We go in quiet. We take him alive if possible. But we bring him to justice, our way. No civilian casualties. No traces if we can help it. This is not war. This is a message. Maria spoke first. Where is he now? Transferred to a secure council outpost on Epsilon Moon. Fortified, heavy guards, but not ready for us. Jake smiled thin. Good. We like surprises. The ship would approach under false ID as a supply runner. They would infiltrate during a routine cargo transfer. Kevin would disable alarms. Maria and Jake would clear the path. Daniel would handle Krax. Rachel would cover medical if needed. As they talked, more news came in. Protests grew on Earth. Donations poured in for Lily's family. Veterans groups offered support. Even some alien traders sent private messages of sympathy. But the council stayed silent. Elder Vorath, a wise old being from the Avari species, gave a short statement. We regret the incident. An investigation will follow protocol. Humans laughed bitterly at that. Protocol. Always protocol. Back on Harmony Point, Laura received visitors. A group of human parents came to the medical bay. They brought flowers from Earth. real ones grown in hydroponics. One mother, older with gray hair, took Laura's hand. "We're with you," she said. "Tell Lily the whole world is watching over her." Laura managed a small smile. "She'll like that when she wakes." That night, Lily stirred. Her good eye opened slowly. She looked at her mother. Her voice was weak and hoarse. "Mommy, it hurts." Laura leaned close. Tears fell on Lily's pillow. "I know, baby, but you're safe now. Doctors fixed you. Just rest." Lily tried to nod. "The big lizard, he hit me." Laura's hand tightened. "Yes, but he won't hurt anyone again. I promise." Lily closed her eye again. She fell back asleep. Laura watched her breathe. In that quiet moment, she made her own promise. No more soft talk. No more trusting alien rules. If the galaxy wanted peace with humans, it would learn one thing fast. Hurt our children, and we come for you. On the Endeavor, the team loaded gear. Black armor, silent weapons, stealth drones. They moved like shadows. The ship jumped toward Epsilon Moon. Daniel stood alone on the observation deck. Stars stretched out forever. He thought of his own daughter, now grown and on Earth. He thought of Lily's face in the video. Something in him shifted. Not rage. Something colder. Certainty. He spoke to the empty room. "You made a mistake, Cracks. You picked the wrong species to test." The engines hummed. The hunt had begun. Far away, Cracks sat in his quarters on the moon outpost. He reviewed reports. He felt safe behind thick walls and loyal guards. He even smiled at the thought of human complaints. "Primitives," he muttered. "They bark, but they do not bite." He did not hear the silent approach of the small human ship. He did not see the dark figures slip through the shadows. He did not know that across light years, a promise had been made. A promise written in blood and carried by people who never forgave. The galaxy was about to learn why humans were called Deathworlders. The small human ship slipped through the dark like a shadow. It had no name on its hull, no flags, no lights that could be seen from far away. They called it the Ghost for this mission. It approached Epsilon Moon slowly, pretending to be a routine supply runner for the Council outpost. The moon was small and rocky, covered in gray dust and sharp craters. The outpost sat in a wide basin, surrounded by high walls of reinforced metal and energy shields that glowed faintly blue at night. Inside the Ghost, the Reckoners checked their gear one last time. Black armor plates fit tight over their bodies. Helmets with dark visors hid their faces. Weapons were silent: knives, suppressed pistols, stun darts. No big explosions, no alarms if they could help it. Captain Daniel Hayes stood at the front. He looked at the team through his visor. "We go in clean, out clean. Cracks is the target, alive if we can, but if he fights hard, we end it. Remember why." They all nodded. No words needed. Kevin Brooks sat at the console. His fingers moved fast over the controls. "Fake ID accepted. Docking Bay 3. Cargo manifest checks out. Shields down for transfer in 5 minutes." Maria Lopez checked her rifle. It was long and thin, made for quiet shots. "I'll take the towers. 2 guards up high. Easy." Jake Rivera flexed his hands. He carried a short blade and a stun baton. "I'll clear the inner halls." Rachel Nguyen packed her medkit. "If anyone gets hit, I'm there. No hero stuff." Daniel gave the final word. "Move like we belong. No rush, no noise." The ship docked with a soft bump. The ramp lowered. 4 humans in plain worker suits stepped out first, pushing cargo crates. They chatted in low voices about weather on some fake colony. The real team waited in the shadows behind the crates. A Vorn guard checked the manifest. He grunted and waved them through. The workers moved inside. The Reckoners slipped out behind them, sticking to dark corners. The outpost halls were wide and cold. Lights were dim to save power. Metal walls echoed every step if you were not careful. Kevin used a small device to jam cameras for short bursts. 10 seconds here, 15 there. Enough time to move. Maria climbed a service ladder to the upper level. She found a spot behind an air vent. Through her scope, she saw the 2 tower guards. They stood lazy, talking. She aimed. 2 soft puffs. 2 darts hit necks. The guards dropped without a sound. She tied them up and hid them in a storage room. Down below, Jake and Daniel moved through the corridors. They passed a group of Vorn technicians. The aliens did not look twice at the workers in human suits. Jake kept his head down. Daniel scanned doors with a small scanner. Krax's quarters, level 4, private wing. They reached a security door. Kevin's voice came through their earpieces. Code override in 3, 2, 1. The door hissed open. Inside the private wing, the halls were quieter. Fewer guards, richer decorations, Vorn banners on the walls, carved stone trophies from old battles. Krax lived well. They found his door. It had a biometric lock. Kevin patched in from the ship. Scanning his print from station records. Got it. Door opening. The door slid aside. Krax's room was large. A low bed, weapons on racks, a desk with screens showing security feeds. Krax sat there, back to the door, reviewing reports. His scales shone under the light. He did not hear them enter. Daniel stepped forward first. He spoke low. Officer Krax. Krax turned fast. His yellow eyes widened for a second. Then he laughed. A rough, deep sound. Humans, you dare come here? This is council ground. Daniel did not smile. You hit a child. Lily Carter, 8 years old. You cracked her skull. Krax stood up. He was taller than Daniel by a head. His claws flexed. She broke rules. I enforce them. Your kind is soft, emotional, weak. Jake moved to the side. Maria's voice in their ears. Clear outside. No alarms yet. Krax looked at them one by one. You think you can take me? I am Vorn, trained, stronger than 10 of you. Daniel stepped closer. This is not about strength. It's about what you did. You crossed a line. We're here to fix it. Krax lunged, fast for his size. His arms swung like a club. Daniel ducked and rolled. Jake came in low, tackling Krax's legs. The big Vorn stumbled, but stayed up. He grabbed Jake by the armor and threw him against the wall. Jake hit hard, but got back up. Maria appeared at the door. She fired a stun dart. It hit Krax's shoulder. He roared and pulled it out. You use toys. Daniel drew his pistol. Last chance. Come quiet. Krax charged again, this time at Daniel. The captain sidestepped and brought his elbow into Krax's jaw. Blood, dark green, dripped. Krax swung wild. His claw caught Daniel's arm. The armor tore. Blood welled up on Daniel's skin. Rachel rushed in. Hold him! Jake jumped on Krax's back. He wrapped an arm around the thick neck. Krax reached back, trying to pull him off. Maria fired again. 2 darts in the chest. Krax slowed. His movements got heavy. Daniel stepped in front. He looked into the yellow eyes. For Lily, he said quietly. He drove his fist into Krax's stomach. Air whooshed out. Krax dropped to his knees. They worked fast. Zip ties on wrists and ankles. A gag in his mouth. A black hood over his head. Kevin's voice. Alarms will trip in 2 minutes. We need to move. They dragged Krax out. He was heavy, but 4 of them managed. Down the hall, past the unconscious guards. Through the cargo bay. The fake workers have the crates ready. They loaded Krax inside one, hidden under supplies. The ramp closed. The Ghost undocked, smooth and quiet. Engines flared soft. The outpost stayed dark. No alarms screamed yet. Inside the ship, they secured Cracks in a holding cell. He woke slow from the dots. He glared through the bars. "You will pay. The council will hunt you." Daniel stood outside the cell. "Maybe, but first, you face what you did." Rachel patched Daniel's arm. "Not deep. You'll live." Daniel looked at his team. "Good work. Clean. Fast." They sat in silence as the ship jumped away. Stars blurred into lines outside the windows. Cracks sat chained. For the first time, doubt showed in his eyes. He had thought humans weak, soft. He had laughed at their anger. Now he felt something new. Fear. The Ghost flew toward the Galactic Council's main station. A long trip, but they had time. On Harmony Point, Lily opened her eyes more each day. She smiled weak when Laura told her stories. "Mommy, when can I see the stars again?" Laura kissed her forehead. Very soon. She did not tell Lily about the team, about the hunt. But she knew. Everyone knew. The message was being prepared. A head in a box. A warning to the galaxy. Humans did not start fights. But when you hurt their young, they finished them. And they finished clean. The Ghost dropped out of faster-than-light travel, far from the main Galactic Council station. The huge ring-shaped structure floated in empty space, lit by thousands of lights, like a city among the stars. Ships of every shape and size docked at its arms. Inside, beings from hundreds of worlds met to decide the rules of the galaxy. It was the center of power, order, and law. Captain Daniel Hayes stood on the bridge. He looked at the station on the main screen. His team waited behind him. Cracks sat in the holding cell, chained and silent. His yellow eyes followed every move, but he said nothing now. Daniel turned to the crew. "We go in open. No stealth this time. We want them to see us. We want them to remember." Maria checked her sidearm. "They'll have security. Lots of it." Daniel nodded. "We broadcast our intent first. If they fire, we leave. But I don't think they will, not yet." Kevin sent a short, tight beam message to the station. It said only, "Human vessel Ghost approaching. We carry evidence and consequence for the assault on Lily Carter. We request docking and access to the main chamber. We come in peace, but we come with purpose." The station replied fast. A calm voice from traffic control. "Ghost, you are cleared for docking Arm 7. Security teams will meet you. Do not bring weapons." Daniel smiled thin. They know better than to stop us now. The Ghost moved in slow. It docked with a gentle thud. The ramp lowered. Daniel stepped out first. Behind him came Jake, Maria, Rachel, and Kevin. They wore their black armor, but weapons stayed holstered. In their hands they carried one sealed metal case, long and narrow. Council security waited. Tall beings in silver armor, some Vorn, some Avari with feathered crests, some insect like Zeph with clicking mandibles. They held energy rifles, but pointed down. "State your business." Daniel met his eyes. "We bring Officer Cracks, or what is left of him, for the council to see." The Avari blinked slow. "You will follow us, no sudden moves." They walked through wide corridors. Aliens stopped to stare. Whispers followed them. Humans. The child incident. They really came. The main chamber doors opened. It was a huge round room. Seats rose in circles around a central platform. Delegates from every major species sat there. Elder Vorath, the old Avari leader, stood at the center podium. His feathers were silver gray. His eyes were sharp and wise. The humans walked to the platform. Security stayed close, but did not touch them. The chamber grew quiet. Thousands of eyes watched. Daniel placed the case on the floor. He opened it slow. Inside, on a bed of black cloth, rested Officer Crax's severed head. The scales still shone green. The yellow eyes stared blank. The mouth was open in a last silent roar. Preserved by cold tech, it looked almost alive. Gasps filled the room. Some delegates turned away. Others leaned forward in shock. A Zeth delegate clicked loud in distress. Daniel spoke clear and calm. His voice carried through the chamber speakers. "This is Officer Krax. He struck a human child, named Lily Carter, 8 years old. He fractured her skull. He caused bleeding in her brain. He said it was correct under your rules." He paused. Let the words sink in. "We do not accept that. Humans have one rule above all others. You do not harm our young. Not for rules, not for displays, not ever." He looked around the chamber, at the faces, some angry, some afraid, some thoughtful. "We took him, we judged him, we ended him. This is not war. This is justice, simple justice." Elder Vorath raised a hand. His voice was old, but strong. "You have broken many laws. You entered restricted space. You killed a council officer. You bring his head here like a trophy." Daniel did not flinch. "We broke your laws to protect our own. Your laws failed a child. Ours did not. If you want to punish us, do it. But know this. Touch a human child again, and more heads will come. Not in secret, not in shadows. Openly, until you learn." A murmur rose through the delegates. Some nodded slow. Others shouted in protest. A Vorn delegate stood. "This is an act of war. We must respond." Elder Vorath raised his hand again. Silence fell. He looked at Daniel for a long time. "Your species is new to this council. You come from a harsh world. We called you Deathworlders in jest. Now we see it is no jest." He turned to the chamber. "This matter will be discussed, but hear me. The protocols for interaction with human minors will change, today. No more blind application of old rules. No more strikes on the young." He looked back at Daniel. "Take your case and go. But this is not forgotten." Daniel closed the case. He nodded once. "Good. Remember Lily's name. Remember her face. That is all we ask." The humans turned and walked out. Security parted for them. No one tried to stop them. The corridors were lined with aliens, watching in silence. Some looked with fear, some with respect. Back on the Ghost, the team sat quiet. Daniel looked out at the stars as they undocked. Maria broke the silence. "Think they'll listen?" Daniel shrugged. "Some will, some won't. But they all saw. That's enough for now." Rachel smiled small. "Lily's waking up more every day." Laura sent a message. She said thank you. Daniel nodded. "Tell her we did it for the kid. Nothing more." The ship jumped away. The council station grew small behind them. On Harmony Point, Laura sat by Lily's bed. The girl was awake now. She ate soft food and asked questions. "Mommy, why did the lizard man hit me?" Laura brushed hair from Lily's forehead. "He made a bad choice, but other people fixed it. They made sure he can't hurt anyone again." Lily thought about that. "Like when I hit Tommy at school and had to say sorry?" Laura smiled. "Something like that, but bigger." A screen on the wall showed live feed from the council chamber. The humans walking out, the head in the case. Laura did not let Lily see the head, but she let her see the people leaving safe. Lily pointed. "Are those our friends?" Laura nodded. "Yes, they protected you. They protected all of us." Lily yawned. "I want to thank them someday." "You will," Laura said, "when you're stronger." In the days that followed, the galaxy changed in small ways. New rules appeared on datapads across stations. Special protection for human juveniles. No physical correction without parental consent. Some aliens grumbled. Others agreed quietly. The word Deathworlders lost its mocking tone. Now it carried weight. Krax's name became a warning. Do not be like Krax. Academies taught it as a lesson in what happens when you push a species too far. On Earth, people watched the news. They felt pride. Not loud pride, quiet pride. The kind that comes from knowing your people stand together. Laura held Lily close as the girl fell asleep. Outside the window, stars shone bright. The galaxy was big and old, but it had learned something new. Humans protect their own, and the galaxy would never forget it. The days after the delivery passed quiet but heavy. The Galactic Council stations stayed busy as always. Ships came and went. Delegates argued in soft voices about trade deals and border lines. But something had changed. In every hall, every meeting room, people spoke in lower tones when humans walked by. Eyes followed them, not with anger, but with new caution. The word Deathworlders was no longer a joke. It was said with respect, like naming a storm that could destroy worlds. Elder Vorath called a closed session the next morning. Only the highest delegates attended. No recordings, no outsiders. He stood at the center podium, his silver feathers catching the light. "We have seen what happens when we ignore the young of a species," he said slow. "The humans did not attack us. They did not destroy ships or take territory. They delivered one message: protect the children or face consequence." A Vorn delegate, still angry about Krax, spoke up. "We should punish them. Sanctions. Block their trade." Vorath looked at him. "And risk more heads on our floor, or worse? No. We change the rules instead." By the end of the day, new protocols appeared on every council datapad. Human juveniles under the age of 16 receive full diplomatic protection. No physical contact without explicit parental or guardian approval. Violations will be treated as acts against the species as a whole. It was not perfect. Some aliens thought it gave humans too much power, but no one argued loud. They remembered the blank yellow eyes in the case. On Harmony Point, Lily grew stronger each day. The swelling on her face went down. The black eye faded to yellow, then clear. She sat up in bed and played simple games on a tablet. Doctors said she could leave the medical base soon. Maybe even go home to Earth. Laura never left her side. She read stories, sang soft songs, and answered every question. One afternoon, Lily looked out the window at the gas giant below. The swirling clouds looked like cotton candy in reds and blues. "Mommy, is the big lizard man gone forever?" Laura took a breath. "Yes, sweetheart. He can't hurt anyone anymore." Lily thought about that. Did the people who helped me, did they get in trouble? Laura smiled small. No, the council understood. They let them go. Everyone knows now that humans take care of their kids. Lily nodded. Good. I like that. News feeds showed the changes. Alien academies added lessons about human behavior. Teachers told young students, do not strike a human child. Their parents do not forgive. Their people do not forget. It became a standard warning, like do not touch live wires, or do not feed the predators. On distant colonies, humans felt the shift. Traders who once got pushed around in markets now walked taller. Aliens stepped aside more often. Not out of fear exactly, but out of understanding. Humans were not weak. They were patient, until you touched what mattered most. Captain Daniel Hayes and the Reckoners returned to the Endeavor. They did not celebrate loud. No parties, no medals. They just did their jobs. Daniel wrote a short report for the higher command. Mission complete. Objective achieved. No further action required. He sent it and closed the file. Later, alone in his quarters, he looked at a photo on his desk. His own daughter, now 20, smiling at her college graduation. He touched the screen. We did it for all of them, he whispered. Maria, Jake, Rachel, and Kevin sat in the mess hall. They ate simple food, real steak from the ship's stores, a rare treat. Jake raised his cup of coffee. To Lily, may she grow up never knowing fear from strangers. They clinked cups. Quiet. No cheers. Just agreement. Months passed. Lily went home to Earth. She walked off the shuttle, holding Laura's hand. The sky was blue. The air smelled of grass and rain. A crowd waited. Family, friends, reporters, who kept a respectful distance. Lily waved shy. Cameras caught her smile. It was small, but real. At home, in their house with the big backyard, Lily ran barefoot on the grass. She laughed when she fell, and got up again. Laura watched from the porch. Tears came, but they were happy ones now. One evening, Laura got a message. It was from Captain Daniel Hayes. No rank, just his name. The message was short. "Ma'am, your daughter is safe, because the galaxy learned a lesson. If she ever wants to thank the team, tell her we were just doing what any parent would. Take care of her. The stars are brighter with kids like Lily in them." Laura read it twice. She showed it to Lily later. Lily listened serious. "Can I write back?" Laura nodded. "Yes, you can." Lily sat at the table with paper and crayon. She drew a picture first. A stick figure girl with a ponytail, holding hands with bigger stick figures in black. Above them, stars. She wrote slow, careful letters. "Dear Captain Daniel and friends, thank you for helping me. I was scared, but now I'm not. I like the stars again. When I grow up, I want to be brave like you. Love, Lily Carter." Laura helped her send it. A week later, a reply came. Just one line. "You're already brave, Lily. Keep shining." The galaxy moved on. Trade continued. New species joined the council. Old ones made alliances. But the story of cracks stayed. It became legend in quiet ways. On ships, in bars, in schools. Remember the human child? Remember what happened after? Some aliens laughed it off. Others did not. The smart ones learned. Humans did not conquer worlds. They did not build empires with fire and steel. But they had something stronger. A promise. "Touch the innocent, and we will find you. We will judge you. We will end the threat. No mercy, no second chances." It was not cruelty. It was protection, pure and simple. Years later, when Lily was grown, she stood on a news station. She worked as a diplomat, like her mother once did. She walked the halls with calm steps. Aliens nodded to her. Some even smiled. One day, a young Vorn trainee approached her. He was small for his kind, nervous. "Ma'am, I study history. They teach us about Officer Cracks, about your people. I want to say, I'm sorry for what happened. My kind learned from it." Lily looked at him. Her eyes were still bright blue. "Thank you, that means something." The trainee bowed low. "We don't want more heads. We want peace." Lily smiled. "Then keep the peace. Protect the young, all young. That's how it works." She walked away. The stars outside the window shone steady. The galaxy was vast and old, full of wonders and dangers, but one thing stayed true. Not because their world was harsh, but because their hearts were fierce when it came to the ones they loved. And that fierceness changed everything.